What if I told you 1 acre is enough? You pause. Not 10 acres, not a big farm far away. Just one, right in front of you. Most people think you need money, machines, and a huge space to survive from farming. A short silence. That's what they've been told. You look at the land again. It doesn't look like much. Dry patches, empty corners, nothing special. But what if this small land could feed your family every single day? Another pause. And still put money in your pocket every month. It sounds crazy. Even you feel it. That means no running to the market every week. No begging for feed prices to drop. No stress when things get expensive. Just peace. Just control. Food coming from your own land. You take a step forward. Now imagine this. Eggs in the morning. Fresh meat when you need it. Milk, honey, fish. All from 1 acre. Your mind starts racing. How is that even possible? You're not alone. Because the truth is, it's not about the land.
You see that land again? It's not the problem. A pause. People don't fail because their land is small. They fail because they don't understand what they're building. You shift your weight. This is starting to feel real. Most people start the same way. They buy chickens, then maybe goats, maybe fish. It looks like a farm, but it's not a system. Silence. They wake up every morning, and the first thing they think about is feeding. Feeding chickens, feeding goats, feeding everything. Another pause. But nothing is feeding them back. You feel that. It becomes a cycle. You spend money. You buy feed. You wait. You sell. And then you start again. No progress. No freedom. Just work. Tell me the truth. If your farm still needs money every single week to survive, is it really helping you? Silence. Or is it just another bill? That one hits deeper. They don't build connections. They don't think about how one animal supports another. They just add more animals, hoping something works. But more animals doesn't fix a broken system. It just makes it more expensive. A long pause. And slowly, that dream of living off your land turns into stress, debt, frustration. You look away for a second. Some people quit. Some keep going, but stay stuck. And some never even start because they've seen others fail. Another quiet moment. And if you've ever watched someone struggle like that, and
Look closer. Not at the land, at what happens on it. A pause. In a real system, nothing is wasted. You take that in. Not leftovers, not manure, not even dirty water. Everything has a place. Everything has a use. Most people see waste, but a smart system sees fuel. Silence. One animal eats, and what it leaves behind feeds another. You imagine it. Chickens scratch the ground. They leave manure. That manure feeds the soil. The soil grows plants. The plants feed animals again. A slow rhythm. A cycle. No breaks. No waste. Another pause. And when that cycle is complete, you stop depending on outside supply. You stop buying feed every week. You stop worrying about rising costs. Because now, the system is feeding itself. You breathe deeper. This is what most people never understand. They try to control everything, but the real power comes from connection. Silence. Each animal is not just there to produce, it's there to support something else. That's the difference.
Chapter 4. The Hidden Engine. You're expecting something big, right? A cow, a goat, maybe chickens. A pause. But it starts with this. You lean in. A fly. Silence. Not just any fly. The black soldier fly. It sounds small, almost useless. But this tiny insect can turn your garbage into premium animal feed. You blink. Kitchen scraps, rotten food, manure. All of it goes in. And what comes out is pure protein. A slow pause. Larvae. Soft, thick. Chapter 5. The Foundation. Chickens. Now we get to what you already know. Chickens. A short pause. They're the backbone of most small farms. You wake up, they're already working. Eggs almost every day. Food you don't have to buy. You nod. This part feels familiar. And if you raise them right, they don't just feed you, they can pay you. Sell a few trays of eggs, and money starts coming back. A quiet moment. But that's not all they do. Let them move through your land. They scratch the soil. They dig up pests. They break everything open. And what they leave behind feeds your ground. Your soil gets stronger. Your plants grow better. Now your land is working harder without extra effort. It feels like progress. Real progress. But here's the problem. A pause. On their own, they still cost money. You feel that shift again. They still need feed. They still depend on you. And if your system stops, they stop too. Silence. That's where most people get stuck. They think chickens are enough. They're not. They're just the beginning. You look at them again. Chapter 6. The Cleanup Crew. Ducks plus quail. This is where things start getting smarter. Not bigger, smarter. A pause. Ducks. They don't just live on your farm. They protect it. You picture it. They walk through your land, quiet, steady, and they hunt. Slugs, snails, insects hiding under leaves. They find what you don't see and remove it. No chemicals, no extra work, just movement. Your crops stay safer. Your plants grow better. And you didn't spend anything to fix it. A slow breath. And unlike chickens, they don't destroy your garden. They work around it. Clean, controlled, efficient. Another pause. Now add this. Quail. Small, fast, almost silent, but powerful. Quail grow faster than any animal here. In weeks, not months. Eggs almost every day. Meat ready before you even expect it. You start to feel the speed. More food, more output, less space. Everything is tightening. Everything is improving.
Now your farm is producing.
Chapter 7. The Profit Multiplier. Rabbits. This is where things change. Not slowly. Fast. A pause. Rabbits. Small. Quiet. Easy to ignore. But don't make that mistake. Rabbits can multiply your meat production faster than anything else here. You picture it. 1 becomes 2. 2 become many. In a short time, you have more than you expected. No long waiting. No heavy feeding. Just steady growth. And they don't take much space. You can raise them right above your garden. Another pause. And what they drop feeds your soil instantly. No compost. No delay. It goes straight into the ground. And your plants respond. Stronger leaves. Faster growth. Healthier crops. You feel the system tightening again. Now your farm is doing more. More meat. Better soil. Less waste. Everything is stacking. Everything is working together. This is where many people finally start seeing results. They feel progress. They feel hope. A quiet breath.
Chapter 8. The Independence Layer. Goats, sheep. This is where it becomes real. Not just food. Freedom. A pause. Goats. Sheep. You see them moving slowly across the land. They don't just live there. They clean it. Bush. Weeds. Rough plants nothing else touches. They eat it. They turn it into something useful. Another breath. And then they give back. Milk. Fresh. Daily. Cheese. Butter. Food you don't have to buy again. A quiet moment. Sheep bring something more. Wool. Fiber. Something you can use or sell. Now it's not just survival. It's value. Real value. This is where your farm stops depending on the outside world. No store. No waiting. No price changes controlling you. You wake up, and everything you need is already there. You feel that. Deep. But it's not just what they produce. It's what they replace. No more buying milk. Less spending. More control.
Chapter 9. The Invisible Force. Bees and geese. You don't see it at first. That's why most people miss it. A pause. Bees. Small, quiet, always moving. They don't just make honey. They multiply everything. You look around. Every flower, every plant, every fruit trying to grow. They depend on this. Another breath. Without bees, your farm produces less. Much less. But with them, everything increases. More fruits, more seeds, more food. Without extra work. You didn't plant more, you didn't spend more, but your output grows. Silence. This is power you don't see, but you feel it. A pause. And then, geese. You weren't expecting that. They don't look important, but they change everything. While other animals focus on food, geese protect it. They watch. They react. They sound alarms. Any movement, any danger, they respond. Loud, fast, alert. They act like your farm's security system. No extra cost,
No extra tools, just presence. And they graze. Grass becomes food, without expensive feed. You see it now. Everything is working together. Everything has a role. Everything is connected. A slow breath. Now your farm is alive, producing, protecting, growing. But then, a pause. It still isn't complete. You feel it again. That missing piece. That final layer. The one that brings everything together. This is where everything comes together. A pause. Not pieces anymore. One system. You look at it differently now. Fish. Quiet. Under the surface. But doing the final work. They take what others leave behind and turn it into food again. You picture it. Water filled with nutrients. Waste from animals. All flowing into one place. And the fish? They eat. They grow. They multiply. Another breath. Nothing is wasted now. Nothing escapes. Nothing is lost. Water leaves the fish. It feeds your crops. Your crops